Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to the Porsche Tag Heuer Esports Super Cup Championship. I'm Austin Knight, and you are watching the Apex Racing Team stream here on Apex Racing TV. Qualifying's just started, and we're getting into it right now. Also joining me in the box, sparsely, is going to be Alex Simpson, but he's also doing double duty in the production booth, as well as Sammy Kumo.
Yeah, hi guys. Always good to be here. Looking forward to this one. Can't miss an opportunity at Le Mans. Obviously, last time out, we had a great race. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what the guys can do again. Fingers crossed. I think for this one.
The fingers are absolutely crossed. Last round, round 8, was at the Nordschleife. What an amazing race that was. And to go from Nordschleife, very technical and twisty track, to a very long straight with technical ending track, it's going to be a massive battle of strategy and then a bit of skill as well between these drivers. So it's going to be an absolutely packed race from start to finish here at Le Mans. We're looking at Antoine Higuain right now as he's going through one of the first chicanes down that world famous straight here at Le Mans. Kind of wishing this race to be on historic, but that's just American me wanting that layup. All right. There's nothing to talk about. Current track temp is 113 degrees here in Le Mans, France. Air temperature is 77 degrees, 25% air humidity, which is actually pretty low for the normal humidity around here. So that might bring in some acceleration troubles for a few of these guys. But sim time is 16:03 right now here in Le Mans. So we're looking at Jamie Fluke now in that 49. He's coming down that right-hand kink, heading up to my favorite corner here in Le Mans. And that is, of course, Indianapolis, that sharp left-hander through the right-hand kink, hard onto the brakes, and then flinging around. Le Mans right now getting all the way to the curbs. And he's out of it, coming up to the slowest corner on the circuit right now. Also driving in right now is Johan Hearth in that 90 car. Looking nicely. He's just coming through the Dunlop curb, actually. He's just starting his lap. And actually, that's right on board for Johan and get a little close up of his face. Actually, no, as soon as I say that, he's going to stop his car and go for another lap. The curse continues. It's Kevin Ellis. He's coming through the chicanes right now, and he's going to come across the line. I think he's got to slow down and an off track immediately at the end of that, so he's going to pull off and restart his lap. Antoine Higuain, though, he sets a time. He's currently sitting in 5th place right now. Kevin Ellis, that 98. Purple Sector 5 for Kevin. He's looking pretty quick through the chicanes. Pouncing across the line. Kevin Ellis does not set a time, but Jamie Fluke is sitting in 2nd place right now. As soon as I said that, Fluke has dropped down to 3rd after Joshua K. Rogers takes a spot, and Jamie's parked up at a marshal post. But Ellis was looking great, but unfortunately, he did get it off track, so his lap time was invalidated. Through right on board Kevin Ellis. So he currently is traveling down the straight right now, going at around 175 miles an hour, slamming hard onto the brakes into these chicanes. Just gotta just avoid these curves just a little bit too excited. I think that might be a cut track penalty. Six minutes left in this qualifying session as Kevin heads into the secondary chicane right now. Hard onto the brakes. Watch that exit. Kevin very nicely through there. As we're looking at Jerry Fissel, and he's got the command to go. So he heads into the chicanes and very loose into there. While you're sitting stationary, your tires are getting cold, so he's not working with warm tires. So he comes across the line, and he's going to start his flying lap. Way wide out of the track, almost getting into the gravel, into the Dunlop curve right now. Hard over the curves, and unfortunately, he actually gets some damage from there, and he's going to stop and restart his lap. Looking at Antoine Higuain, currently sitting in 12th place, as more drivers are finishing their second laps right now. He's just coming out of that long straight. Drops down to 14th, drops down to 15th right now. Jamie Fluke sitting up in 5th, drops down to 6th after a time by Mitchell De Jong. And he's dropped down to 7th. The times are coming in here at Le Mans for the Tag Heuer Esports Super Cup. Heading into Indianapolis. Current fastest lap set by Joshua K. Rogers with that 3-minute 8.6 time. Antoine Higuain down by 2 seconds. Also setting a time, Kevin Ellis came across the line. He's sitting in 12th now, just under a second behind of Rogers out front. Jamie Fluke sitting just 0.8 behind Rogers in 7th place. Antoine just coming through the Porsche curves right now. Heading into the Ford curves. Final sector now. He did go off track last time. Let's see if he keeps it on track this time. Big bounce off these curves, turning that car into a motorcycle, getting onto 2 wheels. He comes across the line. Antoine Higuain. Does he improve on his time? No, he doesn't, unfortunately. But a very consistent lap time, almost identical lap times between his first and second lap. So we're looking at Jamie Fluke right now. He's currently sitting in 9th place in that 49 SDK Gaming car. See, he heads through the Porsche curves right now. Runs wide on those curbs. I'm just keeping it fairly locked down right now. He's improved in Sector 2, 3, 4, and Sector 6. So he's coming through the final curves right now, jumping over these curbs. Comes across the line right now. Jamie Fluke jumps up into 6th place with a 39.545. So what a lap by Jamie Fluke, sitting up there in 6th place, around with the hard chargers. Also, Ellis and Johan are starting in 13th and 15th. They're going to be starting around each other. Always nice to be having a friend right there. But that is our qualifying over right now. And here's our grid for the sprint race. As mentioned, DeJong starting up on pole. Graham Carroll in 2nd place. Jamie Fluke is going to be starting in 3rd, followed by Thomas Tahela in 4th. Tommy Osgard, Sebastian Job, Dan Warren, Joshua Rogers, Jeremy Bootslup, Jeff Giassi, Mac Backham, Ricardo Castro in 12th place. And in 13th, it's going to be Kevin Ellis, Patrick Halsman, Johan Hearth, David Williams, Christopher Damazitz, Alexander Tabib, Marian Kroenke, Joshua Anderson, Cyrus Satas, Valtteri Allander, Aleske Usa Jakola, and Carl Jansen, followed by Antoine Higuain, Jack Sedgwick, Marian Clark, Bobby Zelensky, Jared Fissell, Alejandro Sanchez, and Brian Lockwood at the end of this 31 car field here for the sprint race here in Le Mans. An interesting start for the sprint race. It's a standing start, and standing starts here at Le Mans with cars wrapping around that final chicane get pretty tricky. But it's Jamie Fluke starting in the 2nd row. He's going to be poised to go to the front very soon. Johan Hearth starting in 15th. Kevin Ellis in 13th. Watch these guys work together to try to bunch up the field and try to get up there near the end. And starting near the end of the grid is going to be Antoine Higuain, who is just going to be starting sideways, so he's going to be having a tough race start. And Jared Fissell is going to have a even more confusing race start. But the lights are coming on here for the Porsche Esports Super Cup sprint race, and we're going racing here in Le Mans. Good start by Jamie Fluke, gets his nose cut off right there by Carroll. He's looking down to the inside, immediately going to go side by side for 2nd place, heading into the Dunlop curve right now. Fluke's got company onto his inside in this left-right, gets dove up to the inside by Taylor, but he's going to hold up that inside line. Now they're still going to side by side in this battle for 3rd place. Fluke drops back to 4th. Ellis and Hearth stay in their positions right there. And Kevin Ellis looking a bit racy right now. All these guys rocket onto the back straight, and this is where Le Mans is going to make this sprint race absolutely fascinating to watch. But the draft battles that are going to happen here, they're already 3 wide right now. Jamie Fluke looking on to the outside right now. trying to go side by side and jump back up into 3rd place, but he's in a great position at the start of this 4-lap race around Le Mans. Just sitting behind Tomas in front of him in 4th place as DeJong and Carroll are battling side by side for the lead. This is going to hold them up and allow Jamie Fluke to stay with these guys even more. And same with the entire field as Kevin Ellis jumps up into 12th place and trying to go for 11th place right now in the brake zone, but he takes a very controversial line over these curves. Might be getting a slowdown penalty. As up ahead, they're going to go 3 wide in front of him. That's right on board with Kevin Ellis. Heading into the hard break. So Kevin, late dive, finds the gap that wasn't even existing there, but he made that gap for 11th place. What a move by Kevin Ellis. Having that short bit of excitement right there. It's not going to be always there for him as heading up into Indianapolis. Matt Backham's already side by side with him. He swings around the outside through this right-hand kick heading into Indianapolis. Kevin Ellis trying to hold it around to the outside, getting forced almost off into the gravel side by side. They go right now. Kevin Ellis looking down to the inside, hopping over that curb, using all the track that he can. Who's going to have the better exit? It's going to be Kevin. It's going to be Mac. It looks like it's going to be Mac, but that draft he has is going to just push him away. But there is Johan Hearth. He might give Ellis a little bit of a push ahead as they head into the Porsche curves, but Kevin just going to slide behind Mac, but it's Ellis and Hearth, 12th and 13th right now. It is a Apex Racing Team powerhouse right now in the midfield. And welcome back, Alex Simpson, after I'm pretty sure he took a shotgun to the computer.
Yeah, feels a bit like a massive echo on my end, but right, yeah, there we go. Yeah, felt a bit crazy, restarts and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, not what you need when your audio device just disappears off the face of the planet. But we're back up and we're running, and we've got some games out now. So yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying. I'm just catching up on where we are and what's been going on. So yeah, Fluke in 4th, looking good. Ellis and Hearth got a little bit of work to do compared to how they did when this race was run just what was about a month ago now, where it was all someone around.
Oh, big lockup. Oh no, that's Anderson around. The blue of his car actually made me think that was one of ours, but luckily not, it wasn't. But that promotes Jared Fissel and Higuain up there, and Higuain looking down to the inside of Alander for 27th right now. We're going to go side by side. The car's got to slow down, so Fisco and Higuain both jump up a spot. And it's 2x2 in the back of the grid, middle of the grid, and Jamie Fluke all by himself sitting in 4th place. And he's just peeking his nose out, trying to find any bit of room in this massive draft battle. But I would say being in the top 4 is probably the best spot you want to be, especially if you can stay right there and this 4-pack can escape from the rest of the grid, and he just has to worry about those 3 cars in front of him, because it's going to be a massive draft battle the last lap. Everyone's going to be sending every move that they can. DeJong and Carroll, they're continuing their battle up front. And Tadella is looking in it on as well. And with fights brewing this early in the race, well, I say this early, we're just reaching halfway. It is a sprint race, only 4 laps.
Someone with a slowdown there, I think. It looks like both Ellis and Hearth have snuck through as well, so a little cheap place there. for those guys. I'm not sure who it was, but it looked like one of the Coanda cars.
Yeah, it was a Coanda car. I think they were already beside them, though, as Ellis just trying to work his magic like he did on lap 1. And here goes Jamie Fluke working it on the exit right there, sitting in 3rd place with that draft. Now, in front of him, I think is Mike going to go to Thomas in that 107 car. But now it's going to be in Jamie Fluke's favor, as he has the inside kink heading up into Indianapolis. Who's going to be the best of the late breakers right now? Fluke gets his nose in there, is leading by Carlink. Hard onto the brakes they go, heading into Indianapolis. He's going to get the best exit. Fluke's all the way off into the gravel. Stays ahead right there, heading to the slowest corner. Almost gets turned around and launched by Thomas, but Jamie Fluke makes it up into 3rd place. What a move.
Yeah, good job from Jim there as well. Not easy at all to go through there side by side. You know that it's tricky through the little kink, but if you can hold it tight, then you will usually have the advantage as long as you can sort of stick around the outside. He did that, so got a little bit of breathing room for the Porsche curves now. Just needs to try and tag on to the guys ahead, just get that slipstream and maybe just catch back up so that it doesn't come under pressure before we get down the Mulsands again.
Yeah, but the thing is, DeJong and Carroll, these guys have been battling throughout this entire race, especially down the Mulsands Straight, so I don't think it's going to be much of a chore for him to catch back up, as he's already half a second behind Carroll in front of him as they head into the chicanes once more, as they now enter halfway through the sprint race right now here at Le Mans. Getting into the ground goes Carroll, and Jamie Fluke's right back on him.
Yeah, absolutely right in that perfect zone now to get all the draft that he needs. It was funny actually, I saw the sort of the chat that the guys were mentioning about, and there's been obviously a build change since the last time they were here, and definitely the car is a little bit more forgiving over some of the sausage curbs as well. So definitely one of the advantages I think the guys felt they had the last time they were out was the ability to smash some of these larger curbs through the end of the lap, and that's kind of been negated a little bit. So yeah, feel like they're going to really really abuse them to try and get runs on their opposition out there. But yeah, just a little insight there as well. That was definitely an area of the track that they were getting a little bit of an advantage, and yeah, they're going to have to work hard to sort of counter the fact that everybody's got this car that handles really well over them now. Great run from Jim here on Graham.
Graham had a bit of a wiggle through the Dunlop curve, and that's allowed DeJong to fly away from Jamie and Graham now. But these guys head onto the brakes. Jamie could have had an opportunity. And here's Antoine Higuain and giving Fussell a little bit of a bump draft.
Yeah, Jamie and Antoine right in the thick of it, at the sort of in that mid-pack. And yeah, never easy. Everyone fighting for absolutely everything they can. Of course, this is the area of the grid. They're trying to hold on to their license. Every point absolutely counts. Any further they can get up the grid for the feature is really going to make a difference. Just 4 laps, of course, around here. That was the controversy that caused this event to be rerun, wasn't it? Was the timings and things like that. It should have been, was it 3 laps, but it ran on to 4 and it caught a few people out. So yeah, very interesting.
And there's definitely not any controversy around here, and I'm pretty sure everyone's going to have enough fuel to finish this race, unlike last time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're spot on there. Everyone's gonna get to the end. No surprises there. Bit of picture-in-picture action as we keep an eye on Jamie, as he's still pretty tight up behind Graham Carroll, while we keep an eye on what some of the other guys are doing. Just switched over to Kevin Ellis Jr. You can see him in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen as well. And yeah, nice to see. Ah, Johan, he's so chill, he's able to do his hair on the straight.
Hey, you gotta know guys in style and guys in flowing hair. They just know when it's time to do their own thing. And it's straight into the wall, man.
Yeah, one of the Red Bull cars, it looked like. So, trying to see who that is. I'll see if I can find who that was and get you a little replay of that.
I'm not sure if I can put my finger on it, but that was a very weird line that they took and hard to the wall that they went. Looking at Kevin Ellis right now through the Porsche curves, just ahead of Hearth.
Okay, so replay coming up on screen then. So your right-hand screen's the replay. So it was Patrick Holzman. He was side by side. I'm not sure who it was, trying to go round the outside. Oh, a little out of shape from the Coanda car. Kiss on the side, and then that just affects your braking. Actually, he's not, I mean, yeah, he's overrun, but it could have been so much worse for both drivers there. So, but yeah, Patrick, one of the drivers that is fighting for, you know, that sort of top 20 spot. So, yeah, he'll not be happy with that, that's for sure.
Yeah, and with that, it's going to hurt him a lot because we just entered the last lap here in Le Mans as Jamie Fluke is dancing on the bumper of Graham Carroll. Right on board with Jamie Fluke, all up in that draft behind the 21 Red Bull Esports of Graham Carroll. He's gaining the ground. And do you think he's going to try to send in a move on the first part of the chicane, or he's going to send a move on the second part?
Yeah, it's difficult to say. He'll want to do it when he knows, I feel like he can pick up the draft as well of De Jong ahead. So I'm thinking, yeah, perhaps this is the time to take it. And then, indeed, yeah.
And he's getting pushed all the way down, almost onto the shoulder of the road. They're going to go side by side down the straight. Jamie Fluke sitting in second place right now, just by a nose. That's going to be a battle of late breakers. Carroll's getting some of that draft from De Jong ahead of him. Fluke down all over the curb, giving some room down to the inside, but not so much. He's getting pushed all the way off the track into the curbs. Big old slide right there. But Jamie Fluke still side by side with Graham Carroll.
I could see a 3-wide situation here if we're not careful. Ah, if not the side I thought this was going to be, though.
And almost car on the inside, car on the outside here, heading into the brake zone. Fluke sending it, trying to get around to the outside. And he's got a very nice exit now. We can see the Daytona style drafting that these guys are doing right now, all behind him. Fluke has Joshua Rogers behind him, and Carroll has Tahela, and it's Carroll. It's Fluke. It's Carroll. It's Fluke. 3 wide heading down the back straight. Almost going up 4 wide through the kink. Fluke is in the middle of it, and oh no!
You kind of knew it was going to happen the minute the guys wanted to go 3 wide through there. Absolutely crazy call, I have to say. Those that survived that are so lucky. You know, I feel so sorry for Jim. Like, he really needed a good result as well. And yeah, that's rash, taking it 3 wide there. What can you say?
Very, very nasty incident for Jamie Fluke heading into Indianapolis with a wreck that would have belonged in Indianapolis. He actually got airborne for a little bit, but he was stuck between a rock and a hard place as Ellis and Johan are currently sitting in 10th and 11th right now, heading through the Porsche curves right now. And Johan's getting a good run on Ellis. We're going to see a little inter-team fight right now.
Just having a look just to see if Jamie, yeah, I'm not sure he's able to continue either. I think Jamie's out as well, so that has absolutely killed his meeting. Nothing he could do about that. You know, he wasn't the one that wanted to take that 3 wide. But here we go then, last few corners of the race.
There's an accident ahead of him. That's only correct. think that was a.
Another
it's
one
2
as well.
cars. And oh my goodness, it's a massive pile up behind him. Ellis and Hearth are going to steal 6th and 7th right here.
What is going on? Absolute carnage at the death. 6th and 7th. I'll take that job up to 4th as well. Whew. That is craziness right there. Poor Jamie. Yeah, he is limping around. He's going to try and get at least to the end. No points for him, but
look at that steering angle he's got going on.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope.
Poor Jim.
What a finish by Kevin Ellis. You can see he had to bump a few cars out of there because that ending turned into a demolition derby out in front of him, and both our guys jumped up, I would say about 4 or 5 spots just from cars taking out each other in the last 2 corners.
Such a mix when you look at the contrast of emotions there as well. Yeah, just Jamie just absolutely deflated and gutted, and then yeah, Kevin, you know, got a nice beaming face because he's gifted those places on that last lap. Right, let me bring back the full screen for you guys so you can see the results of that one.
Yeah, Mitchell DeJong took the win ahead of Joshua Rogers. Graham Carroll surviving that gladiator fight in the last lap. Sebastian Johns, Mac Backham in 4th and 5th. And Kevin Ellis and Johan Hearth gifted that 6th and 7th, followed by Ricardo Castro, Dane Warren, Alexander Thebe, Christopher Dambitz, Aleski in 12th, followed by Carl Jansen, Sid Andre in 14th, Tobias in 15th. He was involved in that melee at the end of the lap, followed by Martin Crockett, David Williams, and Alejandro Sanchez in 18th. They're followed by Patrick Hallsman, Tommy Oscar, Jack Sedgwick, Jared Fissel in 22nd, followed by Jeff Giassi, Jeremy Butzlup, and Antoine Higuain in 25th. Valtteri Ondler, Bobby Zelensky, Joshua Anderson, Martin Clark, and Jamie Fluke. Unfortunately, wasn't going to be able to finish on the lead lap. And Brian Lockwood, I'm not sure what happened to him at the start. I don't think he actually took a lap.
No, it doesn't look like he qualified, but yeah, like you say, he's in the session, but no lap for Brian there, so.
He's there. So, 30 cars on the grid, 31 registered, and it's back to the warm-up we go as these guys get ready for the feature. What a crazy last lap of that first race.
We always knew, I think, that it was going to be a little bit mental. You know, Le Mans, just super draft track, and you know, people trying to make moves and whatnot. So, yeah. I mean, certainly from a team manager's perspective, I can't help but look at that and just think, oh no, this is not going to go well, and just a bit gutted. But yeah, also really cheesed off that, you know, someone thinks it's a sensible idea to take it 3 wide, you know, on the outside there, when they're already battling like that. You know, there's no way through there. It was always going to end in absolute disaster. Yeah,
and unfortunately, it's always a car that's stuck in the middle of everyone that's going to be taken out. And unfortunately, this is not NASCAR. Le Mans is not wide enough to handle 3 wide. Sure, you'll see that, but that is for usually half a second when it's an LMP1 car, LMP2 car, and a GTE car. They might go 3 wide, but it's not going to last for the entire run-up heading into Indianapolis. And around that kink, it's just impossible to think that was a good idea. But very, very hard for Jamie to get over that. I would carry a grudge. I probably would have shooed someone out for that.
Yep. I think it's a good job the microphone's unmuted. You know, maybe that's something we could change for a future race. I don't know. Let us know in the chat. You know, do you want to hear these reactions on stream? It could have been very interesting. Yeah.
It might have got a little bit of a sensor beat might need to be implemented here. I'm not sure if you were saying you have a master sensor beat that you could just cover that up with.
Yeah, we don't, but yeah, I think if we're gonna do something like this, then that's definitely what we're gonna need to include.
I don't know if they're actually streaming on Twitch right now. Are these guys streaming on their own channels?
I think Jamie's on his own channel.
Well, if you want to hear what he said.
Yeah, pop it back. I'm sure it'll be interesting.
Kevin Ellis messing with his hair a little bit. Talking with the team right now as he's, just doing his own thing. Jamie Fluke is just, I don't know what he was thinking right now, but he's not happy.
Yeah, I mean, Jamie coming into this one, of course, he's had a really good run of form, it's fair to say, and he's got himself in that top 10 fight, and there's decent payout for everybody in the top 10 on this series, and right now that's just been taken away from him. There's 2 rounds of this championship left, including this one, and yeah, suddenly he's going to be sort of find himself in that sort of 15th place, I would imagine. It's going to be so difficult. You've seen in the previous race, like making places here is difficult unless there's accidents and things like that. It's just everybody's drafting each other. So to get any kind of points out of today, it's going to be so tough for him. So yeah, it's not going to be. It's not going to be happy, that's for sure. Especially as I think one of the drivers he was fighting with for that top 10 was Graham.
It was. Graham was on his inside.
I mean, I have to say, Graham didn't do anything wrong in that.
Yeah, Graham's totally in the right. Nothing's wrong with Graham. It was the car that went on the outside. I think it was Rogers, maybe.
I don't think it was Rogers. Rogers was the co-owner car behind Carroll. I think it was.
It was the one that was pushing Jamie originally.
Yeah, I think it was Tobias, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was Tobias who was behind him that wanted to take it 3 wide. So yeah, that was definitely the ambitious move.
A little bit too ambitious at times, but that's what these guys up top kind of get with it. They get a little bit feisty at times. And you kind of have to when you're going for a position, but there's a time and a place for everything, and that definitely was not the time and the place to go for a 3 wide move on the last lap. Maybe in the upcoming corner he could have done a 3 wide, but hindsight is 20/20, and sometimes it's just spur of the moment, blood boiling stuff with these guys.
How long warm up have we got left? Probably not long enough for me to go and find this replay, is there? I will try.
I will let you know how much of a warm-up we have left. 2 minutes and 50 seconds.
Oh, maybe then. Maybe.
It actually was, I'm looking in at the spectators chat, and it was Tahela turned into Jamie. Quote, as if there isn't 2 cars on his inside.
Yeah.
So, might be a penalty for that.
Yeah, I think there will do, but of course this it's no consolation, is it, for Jamie? Yeah. Unfortunately, that's one thing I hate about post-race protest systems.
It's like, what's going to happen to me? Like, am I going to magically go up? No.
Yeah, the guy will still score his points for where he finished. You'll get a little reprimand for the next race, maybe a grid penalty or something like that. But actually, it does nothing at all to rectify it when it's post-race. Yeah, it's one of the biggest gripes I know we have, certainly in terms of the series. But yeah, hopefully.
I've had a few post-race penalties in my karting career when I was younger. driver would spew me off track, and he would get a post-race penalty, drop 5 positions, and my cart is toast, and like I was just like, do I get his place now? No. Can I punch him at least?
Right, so we can actually come across, and we can see what happened. And yeah, so this was obviously when they were side by side at the end of the Mulsamp on the chopper cam. So great driving here from the pair of them. Just enough room left between Graham and Jamie here. But of course, that was really what killed them. The pair of them here, they've lost all momentum behind. And yeah, Roger's going to the inside, trying to sneak by them all. Ambitious as well, to say the least.
All these guys ambitious.
Jamie gets the run out here. Oh, it was worth pointing out, Mitchell is playing the perfect game in the middle as well, because you can't see him just up there, but they're still slightly in draft range, but he's bang in the middle of the circuit, so neither driver is gaining an actual advantage here. And yeah, here we go, the 3 wide. We'll see. Jamie does move a little bit to the inside to give a little bit more room. Yeah, this is not good.
Big F in chat right now.
Oh.
So it got actually hung up on Carroll originally, and then Tobias he really just squeezed both these guys into him and sent Jamie flying into a new dimension and straight into that wall as warm-up is ending here right now, and we are about to grid up.
Yeah, if they'd have made that would have been that would have been awesome, but yeah. Yeah, I was just looking it back on the YouTube feed actually, and you see it, and it's just Constantina in there. There's not enough room given on the outside to get through 3 cars through that. You know, you're gonna do it. You're gonna take it 3 wide. You've got to know that you've got to leave, 2.5 car widths at least. I know one thing. You don't go for that move if you're in a real car. When your life is on the line, you don't push it. Right, Austin, over to you for the start of this one, mate.
Well, start is coming up very shortly, and we're going green flag racing here at Le Mans.
It does look like we're just having a couple of timing issues. I wonder if Mr. Cooper would mind refreshing that once again. But yeah, while we try and get that sorted, so Johan, that really is in the thick of it, battling here. The top 5 seem to have had a nice little breakaway.
And Kevin Ellis had a really good start. He's currently sitting in 5th place right now, and he's got a big gap in front of him. And behind him, he's got 2 cars fighting, and that's Johan Hearth. I'm staying with him.
Yeah, I think Johan, that's Backham and Castrolido, so 2 teammates there ahead. So he just needs to buy his time, maybe pounce now, because, those guys are not going to want to get into each other, so put them under a bit more pressure. Might be the way to do it.
Absolutely is. And looks like Johan is stuck behind a massive draft battle. And these 2 guys going side by side a little bit more. The cone absolutely gets murdered right there. Johan sitting in 8th place right now, with his teammate Kevin Ellis right behind Graham Carroll in 5th place. And Kevin had a very good start.
Yeah, just as we go picture in picture, so you've got, I think it's Johan on the left-hand screen, and then Kevin tucked up behind the Red Bull of Graham Carroll as well. Nice little battle up front, obviously in terms of the championship as well, with Rogers and Job having a good little battle. They've managed to get by Mitchell already on this first lap, and Seb trying to go around the outside. I think we'll give that battle a little bit of love, because we know what's on the line for this one.
We might be seeing, this is not a replay, this is the live race. You aren't seeing this happen 2 races in a row on the first lap and the last lap. Side by side they go through the kink, nobody turns into each other, how it should be done. And yeah, they get through there cleanly, but it's very highly contested in the top 4 right now. Kevin Ellis is trying to sneak his way into there, and Johan's obviously upset about something. Saw the hand of anger fly up there. Might have got bumped by a car on his inside.
Yeah, still seems to be with it at the moment, so yeah, no issues. I'm not quite sure what that was.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening right there. Johan currently sitting in 9th place, heading through the chicane. There's a slowdown of the car, and there he's going to jump up into 8th place. Actually, no, that was Johan.
Yeah.
I'm getting cross-eyed right now, looking at 3 different screens of timing. So, it's getting bad to worse for Johan. Car tries to send it up to his inside. He defends that very well, but now he sits in 15th.
I swear, whenever we try and do one of these team streams or something like that, something goes. Yeah, I say something goes wrong, everything goes wrong. Like the Rahal, Letterman, Lanigan stream, like, you know, the team got wrecked literally on lap 1, turn 1. You know, you just couldn't imagine that. And yeah,
production was fine.
Yeah, production was fine. Is that on this one, like we lost the sound device at the start. Samuli's just lost his internet connection. Do you know what I mean? Just like there's been wrecks all over the place. Oh yeah, so I think maybe that's telling us something.
Since all the trouble has been in the production, but I think the performance on track should be good if our road has been like this. But speaking of Samuli, I think he's back. Ellis in 5th, Johan in 15th, and we have Antoine in 21st, followed by Jamie Fluke in 27th. So Fluke trying to make his way up the field right now. He's already up 3 spots, and David Williams, massive incident for him on lap 1. He's down 12 spots. Higuain, he's looking down to the inside, side by side with the VRS car. They're going to swing around the outside. Oh, one of the Red Bull cars. That's Holzman getting punted off into the wall. So Antoine sitting in 20th now. And he's behind Bobby Zelensky ahead of him. It's a very ragtag first few laps here in the feature race. Heading into Indianapolis for Antoine. Very loose off the exit, but he's kept it very nicely in control. Once again, very loose off the exit, and kind of separates these guys from the rest of the field. They love a loose car. They know how to handle a loose car. Me, I cannot handle a loose car to save my life. These guys, when you see their wheel, it's going left, right, up, down, center, left. It kind of looks like a DAS system on steroids, but these guys know every single bit about this Porsche. They just know how to control it.
Yeah, they want to drive it on the edge absolutely the best they can. You know, everything is about maximizing speed out of the corners and things like that. So perhaps the setups may be just a little bit unconventional, but yeah, they kind of do what they need to do just to bring the neck out of this car and get.
Antoine's going to good run. He's looking down to the inside. Side by side they go. Antoine sending it into the first chicane, and he's cut him off. What a move on Zelensky. One to Kevin Ellis. He's side by side.
Yeah, that's Backham having a little run on him. I don't think Kev got the best of exits actually out of the Ford chicane there. Made that move pretty easy, yeah, for Backham. He's got Dane Warren to deal with now, but hopefully Backham can sort of tag back onto Carroll, and this train's not going to get split in two.
Yeah, I believe these guys, after that first lap of going side by side, I think they're all going to settle down up here and get a bit of a draft fast as these guys are just going to stay nose to tail with each other as close as they can possibly, and seeing if they can all tag along with each other and stay there. But as I soon say that, Ellis moves down to the bottom of the track as he's already side by side with Dane Warren on his outside.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Kev's got any aero damage or something like that we perhaps didn't see. It seems like he's struggling with a little bit of speed. He's not even able to keep up with Backham ahead. He was right on his tail coming onto the Mulsanne there. So yeah, let's kind of see what happens again. I see a little bit of splitter damage on my screen on the right, so left-hand side of the car as you're sat in it. So yeah, that could be affecting him a little bit there. Does seem like
to give room around the outside. Then he's got the inside line. He gets a great run as Dane flies wide off that corner. I keep wanting to call him like Darren Wayne or something. Dwayne, that's what I keep calling him.
That's the American in you, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it can't help it. Can't help it. When these guys do like NASCAR stuff, let me know.
Johan's got damage as well. I'm guessing they've got a very similar issue. Yeah, so just hit that chicane too much, and that's what it does to you. It's still good to go, but you know it's just so hard to get the run. You can just see they're pulling away.
And these guys are hitting or just bending in the splitter, because I'm seeing a lot of people having a similar splitter problem, but the front of that splitter right now actually looks like a TCR car with that front end a bit caved in. I actually think he got into the back of somebody right there.
Yeah, suffering with some connection problems as we switch back to single screen.
Antoine Higuain is looking down to the inside. We saw him do this last time by. Can he do it again? That's Zelensky now, but Zelensky had a great run. Higuain's now going to be drafted behind him, and both these guys trying to chase down Sedgwick in 19th.
Yeah, Jack, obviously, long time. I thought that was a bit of a send going in there for Zelensky on Jack. But yeah, obviously I raced a lot with Jack Sedgwick. Thursday night, TCR often has some fun. He picked up a win this week, so yeah, he'll perhaps be full of confidence.
Our confidence can swing from top of the morning to very bottom, and it could be changed in all in one corner. That's Jamie Fluke.
Yeah, talking of Jamie Fluke, actually, let's see if we can't bring back this shot just so we can see how he's doing, progressing up and into 25th place. So he's got an absolute train ahead of him.
He's also got, it looks like he also has the same smoker damage as that Johan has, as there's a car off in the Dunlop curve. I'm not sure who that is. There's a lot of smoke up there. Is that Carl Jansen? Carl's hood is absolutely wrecked.
Yeah, I think it probably was Carl.
The battle for 5th place between Backham and Ellis. Warren's passing Ellis down his inside, and Ellis is getting no help from anyone in front of behind him. It's just a massive draft train behind Warren as he jumps up there. Ellis drops down to 7th place. And
yeah, kept surrounded by Coanda cars. He's going to get no help whatsoever at this point. And yeah, the fact that he hasn't got the straight line speed because of that splitter damage, he is just going to be, yeah, cannon fodder, I think, yeah.
Yeah. Most tracks he wouldn't really, if this was Nordschleife, he'd be totally fine. But unfortunately, we're at Le Mans, and floor damage, splitter damage, any bit of aero damage is going to just nail you down those straights and just attach an entire laid weight on the back of your car. You're going to be dragging that thing for the entire rest of the race. And unfortunately, he got the splitter damage at the start of this race. So he's going to be a massive uphill battle. And as they're 2x2 up ahead, and well, that's for first and 3rd place now. And he's just going to be following these guys as close as he can. But unfortunately, if you see all these cars trying to look past Kevin Ellis, he's going to be making his work in the corners now. Try to stay with them as 3. It's a very unique line. Antoine Higuain powering through there, gets contact with the 83 of Zelensky. I think he was getting pushed by the 29 of Jansen right there. Wish we had a camera on Antoine right now, because I think he would be pretty happy with what just happened right there. And these guys ahead of him are going to go too wide. And Jamie Fluke at the back of this pack is seeing what's happening, and he's not having good memories. He's actually backing off because he thinks the incident's about to happen with these guys. Antoine Higuain swings around the outside and holding it down to the inside. And ooh, gives the 10 a little bit of shove off the track. He picks up some gravel right there. Higuain up into 19th.
Yeah, good move from Antoine. He's got nothing to lose. Antoine missed a couple of rounds, so struggling in terms of the championship. So he's just going to have a bit of fun with this one, I'm sure. And yeah, he'll throw his weight around and do what he needs to do.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to throw your weight around, especially if you know you aren't contending for any sort of championship. Having fun and having good results are what it's all about. When we look at Jamie Fluke in his car, he's going to want to forget this thing.
Sadly, I think you're right, Austin. I don't think he's going to have fond memories of this one. So, and of course, in fairness, looking at the results, the team's going to be a bit gutted with this round, knowing how well it went last time we were here. You know, with the wins and things like that as well. So, yeah, they'll be gutted that we visited it again, and circumstances out of their control have somewhat stopped us being able to get good performance again.
Unless there's a monumental accident on the back stretch that blocks the entire track, I don't think Jamie's going to be having a good time. Unless that happens, but the odds of that happening, well, we saw last time by, so I'm assuming these guys will be a bit cleaner this time, but
Antoine again, having to defend, goes in a little bit deep, and
that inside line gets swooped out wide, almost getting into the back of Jansen right there, as Sedgwick almost gets into the side pod of Antoine, and This guy's continuing on that draft train, and he doesn't have to worry about that car behind him, as I believe he has 4 damage, but he has a lot of help behind him.
Just looking at the driver's cameras there as well. So Johan flipping up his mic. He's had enough for talking for this race, I think. And oh no, he's back in action. So, I don't know about you, Austin, but I am not flipping my mic anywhere when I'm racing. I'm just like, I need to have like that full concentration. I know it's Le Mans and I know they're big straights and stuff like that, but still.
I'm usually messing with my keyboard on the straights or something. I'm queuing up as we're going 3 wide. We've seen how this works here. Antoine Higuain's in the middle, and I'm not feeling good about this.
Go on, Antoine, full send.
Full send. I'm a fan of seeing cars finish the race.
Yeah, Anderson gets through on that one as well, so picks up 2 places. Antoine sort of maintains where he was. I think actually Carl was the sensible one there. So.
Yeah, Carl was way onto the inside, and oh, they're bumping and rubbing, and Carl takes a huge chunk of damage right there. They're just such small contact. Jansen trying to swing it around the outside of Antoine. Antoine holding that inside line. He's going to have the top speed down the straight. And Jansen's going to have to draft as Sedgwick goes from Antoine all the way back to Jansen. He's going to be regretting that in a few moments.
Yeah, we've seen what happens. Here we go.
Oh, no. Here we go again.
Hold on tight.
Jansen's in the middle. He can't back out of this one. Sedgwick's around the outside.
Yeah,
Jamie. Oh.
Sensible there. Jack just, yeah, lifted out of that one. He's not going to want any part of that. That's what should have happened in the first race.
Yeah, that's what should have happened, but it was on the last lap, so it's like playing a game of chicken. And knowing sim racers, they never are the first one to go. And Antoine is just getting trounced by these guys, and you see Jamie Fluke just sitting back there, and Jamie's not happy. Definitely, he's seeing what's happening ahead of him, and he's just like, I don't want to even be up there with these guys after what happened on lap 1. No, not lap 1. Sprint race 1. Last lap. 4.
I think there's a part of Jim that's perhaps wishing that they kind of get together, but also not, because he knows that his teammate is in and amongst that group as well. As we take a little look at Kevin, still kind of in this battle. Does actually look like that group has caught up with the lead pack as well to some extent. So we've got Warren ahead, as well as
besides this is the battle for 3rd, I believe. Mitchell DeJong is kind of in his own area right now. He's just a bit detached from this group, but Job and Rogers, the fight for the overall lead, that is gone. Those guys are way wide of this. That top 3 is kind of wide a bit. DeJong's kind of falling off of it. As we're looking at Antoine, he's always involved in fights, and Jamie Fluke's right there with him, and I'm trying to box Outlander in. If Antoine makes a oh no,
disappears. Don't know where he is. Who knows? Maybe he'll come. Maybe he'll come back, Antoine.
No,
but yeah,
he's out. I think he got a bit wide, might have hopped over the wall, and I think he's visited that KFC right now. He is not going to be happy. And Jamie Fluke's up in the 22nd place, as it looks like Olander had to take a slowdown penalty behind him for going a bit wide of that corner, trying to avoid the spinning Antoine. So, yeah, let's just not remember this race.
I think that's probably a sensible call, Austin, to be honest. Yeah, absolutely insane. It's been going on.
And these guys are going 3 wide ahead of Kevin. Both of them backed out, and that was Carroll not backing out at all. And Kevin just snaking his way, trying to just get up there. onto the side of back end, which he is now, but now he's out of the draft, and he's going to be slower down the straight. He's going to slip back in there as Carroll and Warren going to go side by side, heading into this braking zone. Are we going to see Kevin Ellis try some magic right here? Taking on the inside. There is a lane for him to try that. Sticking his nose in there. Just on the exit, gets a little bit loose.
Got Castrolido tucked up right behind him as well. We can't see him while we're on board, but there he is. Yeah, Kevin's fighting for a top 5 in this championship as well, so he'll want to go for some of these moves, but he doesn't want to have anything end in disaster. You cannot have what happened to Jamie, that's for sure. So he'd like to get to Carroll and perhaps try and get past Carroll, but yeah, if these guys are going to battle so hard, he perhaps just needs to take advantage when they perhaps get into each other, you know? That's a little look again.
We got 2 laps to go, and the odds of these guys getting a little bit more scrappy ahead of them, we've seen them go 3 wide. It's definitely extremely high. And Carroll or Warren, knowing these two, they're not going to back down, but I would say the wild card of this situation of the 3 cars ahead of him would have to be Mac Backham. And he might be trying to make some moves, but there is a gap forming to Castro behind Ellis right now. So there might be Tobias absolutely send it to Lita might be causing a little bit of a ruckus behind Ellis to just have him only focusing above him.
Yeah, Ricardo just running a little bit wide into the Porsche curves as well, so yeah, just struggling ever so slightly. He's still in draft range, I think that's the important thing. 0.6 of a second, you'll still be able to zip back onto the back of these guys.
Okay, we've seen Kevin go through here a lot differently than everybody else, but I think that's because of the splitter damage. He doesn't want any more of it. But you can see the difference of times compared to the top 3 and these guys. Top 3, 359s from Sebastian Job and Michael DeJong. These guys, 401, 402, 403.
That's what the battling does, doesn't it? It's bare side by side. It just absolutely kills the lap times. And the top 3 just able to scamper away.
Yeah, whenever you get to one of these situations where you have 2 guys in the group that's trying to fight for the lead, and you're just sitting in this group and you try to talk some sense to them, neither of them will listen to you. So, work together, we can catch up to the leaders, guaranteed. We got a bigger train down the straight, we all lock our bumpers together, we'll definitely make it. And then we get the egos in there and be like, nah, I want to be leading. It's a train straight down the middle here in Le Mans here in the future race. 2 laps to go. But Le Mans kind of feels like 3 separate tracks all locked into one.
Go on, you're going to have to explain that to me.
Well, that Sector 1 is a bit more flowing like an actual circuit because it is a purpose-made circuit. And when we get into the first back straight, heading into the chicane, kind of goes onto a, drag racing circuit that is, as these guys are just racing down the highway, and they're going to go side by side, heading to a little bit of chicane, and that takes up all the way heading into Indianapolis, and that part is an entirely separate circuit because that's where all the technicalized part of the track is, with a lot of braking points and driving on the edge is happening.
Yep, I'll get you. Makes sense. And yeah, you can set the car up completely different for each sector, I think, as well.
Yeah, which is why you see a lot of teams just being very secretive about their Le Mans setup, because they'll share their Nürburgring setup, they'll share their Daytona setup, but Le Mans is just something completely different because you need to have that sweet spot that capitalizes on all 3 different types of racing, as the 110 of Christopher Dambidis absolutely destroys that cone on entry. Shout out to the marshal that puts that up every lap. He's got one more lap to do that. I need to go home.
Yeah, as we switch back to the front, 7th, Kevin Again, still sort of stuck behind those two cars that we had. Castrolido, is that? Having a little look, it was.
Oh, that's Toledo going very wide. He actually got a bit loose off the exit right there, but he's falling down to 10th. He's not going to be happy.
He's certainly happier than Jamie is, that's for sure. You know?
I think Jamie's found something to put a smile on his face. He's probably looking at something after the race. Or going to compete in something with guys that are absolutely sending it. I just know that they're going to be focusing more on that ending result. Because I find myself, if I finish with an incident, and I had a chance to win, I'm a lot more mad than I just had no chance to win at all. Because if I started 20th and I finished about 15th, I would not be upset as I am racing in second, then absolutely getting murdered on the final lap.
Here we go then. Like you say, final lap coming up. White flag comes out. What he's going to do. You're right, Kev's definitely being a little bit conservative through there. Doesn't get the best of runs. Castrolido may be going to have a little look. Doesn't.
Castro, he could have looked down there, but he's not going to. And as soon as I say that, I think I'm commentating his cursed Ellis right here. But above him, Carroll's getting absolutely sent on by Backham, who went over the curves. And here comes Kevin, who's came out of nowhere going side by side through the Dunlop curves even more. He's got that inside line, and he's just going to just ease his nose just ahead. And he's got the advantage right here. Watch out, Kevin! No, no, no! Woo-hoo!
All sorts of sideways, the pair of them there. Somehow Kev managed to hold on to that. I don't know if he's still going to have the slipstream of Carroll. He needs it.
And Backham got a slow down penalty from that as well. And he's going to be livid over the microphone, as we saw what happened to Antoine that one lap actually happened to him, and just hooked the curb with her tire, initial D style, and unfortunately that sent the back end out. Made him a little bit unstable, but Kevin Ellis sitting up into 6th place, but Castro is just far enough ahead with Kevin with that damage that he's got on his front splitter. It's not going to allow him to catch up with Carroll. So now Ellis going to get the elbows out and hold off for 6th place.
He's got just a little bit of draft. It's ever so faint, but I think it's going to be enough to kind of help him defend here. Oh, it looks crazy behind. Johan's behind in that mess, isn't he, as well? Right at the back of it. But it looks like they're all going to be okay. I think we're going to see that same last lap shenanigans again, but with this pack just behind Kevin.
It's not going to be Kevin. It's going to be that fight for 8th place right now.
Johan for 8th.
That fight for 8th place is getting incredibly feisty as all these guys are spreading out right now, and Kevin is looking at his mirror, and there's a little smirk on his face right now. I think he senses what's about to happen, and there's a big off right there. That's one of the Coanda cars.
Yeah, Backham.
Backham's just having a horrible lap. And just in front of Johan, they're going to go 3 wide. Through that same kink that took Jamie Fluke out. And odds that this is going to happen again.
Oh, quite possibly Sanchez on the inside. Of course, he is a championship contender. He's not had the meeting that he will have wanted. Oh no, they're sensible.
The sensible thing has happened.
Yeah, they backed out and thought better off it.
I'm an agent of chaos, and I kind of wish something did happen right there.
You and me both. We're rooting for the wreck.
Well, sometimes the wreck that we were looking for isn't going to be exactly where we're looking for it. The Porsche cars are still alive. And, well, as Kevin Ellis is actually caught up to Carroll, I think Carroll might have got a slowdown penalty.
Nah, he's all right. But, yeah, Kev getting a bit lightsy and trying to put Graham under a bit of pressure. I think there's enough of a run, is there, if you get the chicane wrong, that you perhaps can lose the position. So just really get on his tail here.
We've seen Kevin absolutely nail this chicane section to a T. And he can definitely set up a move on Carroll right now, coming into the forward curves. Just a little bit tight right there. but an absolute send to this final corner. The 5th place is still possible for Kevin. But race number 1, he took 6th place, and here in the feature race, he's going to take it again as Castro got very loose on the exit, but Kevin Ellis, he's going to be happy with today. Johan Hearth, it looks like he got some hood damage from that last lap scrap. He's going to be finishing in 16th. Jamie Fluke in 23rd.
What could have been for Jamie, unfortunately.
What's happened to Jared?
Yeah, Jared didn't have the best of races as well. I think he got caught in something. I remember seeing the event viewer showing, "Whoa, have it!" But yeah, I remember seeing on the event viewer. I think it was on lap 1 or 2 that he was involved in something. So yeah, that's kind of set him back. But, yeah, not the best day at all for him out there. Right.
Probably the only one who had a positive day right now would be Kevin Ellis. Double top 10 finish.
Yeah, I think Kevin. Absolutely, I think Kevin will take that. Good, yeah, good meeting. Definitely be what could have been meeting for Jamie. I mean, such a great quali, and the race was going perfect for him, working his way up that field, and definitely had pace because he was able to move up a little bit through there. So yeah, a bit go for him. And then Johan with the, I think the slowdown really is what did it for him in the second race. Yeah, was not able. Yeah, Jamie definitely very angry. You can tell the fingers coming out. We can see it. So, of course, yeah. If you want to know what he's talking about, head on over to his Twitch stream as well. But yeah, Jared just yeah, not able to have a smooth run either. Over to you, Austin, for the final results.
Well, it's Joshua Rogers who took the win in the feature race, hauled by Sebastian Job, Mitchell DeJong, Dane Warren, Graham Carroll, and Kevin Ellis, finishing in 6th place. They're followed by Ricardo Castro, Tobias Toela in 8th place, Alexander Thebe, Alejandro Sanchez, Sindre Setsma, Aleske in 12th, Martin Kroenke, Jeremy Bootsloop, Tommy in 15th, followed by Johan Hearth in 16th, followed by Mac Backham, and Joshua Anderson in 18th. Bobby Zelensky finishes in 19th, followed by Christopher David David Williams, Jack Sedgwick, Jamie Fluke, Valtteri Elander, Patrick Holzman, Martin Kulak, with Gerard Fisella and Antoine Higuain in 27th and 28th. They're followed by Carl Jansen, Jeff Giassi, and Brian Lockwood, who somehow got in here, but didn't take a lap. And that is your results for the feature race here for the Porsche Tag Heuer Esports Super Cup by iRacing. And that is our results for our boys at ART. Yeah,
an interesting race for sure. Like I say, mixed emotions out there. Let's just have a quick look. This man will be happy. Let's see if I can just turn on his microphone and have a little listen, see what he might be saying. Get ready for expletives. But yeah, no. Thank you.
Cursing.
Right, nothing too much going on there. Don't want to give away any trade secrets or anything like that, so I'll cut that. I'll cut that. And what about Jim? What's going on?
And I got ruthlessly denied that. It's what it is.
Well, yeah, ruthlessly denied that. I think I will agree with Jamie there on that one as well. Let's have a little listen into to Johan. We'll cut over to Johan, see how he is feeling. I'm not hearing Johan at all. It's all quiet on his front. So, yeah.
Is that a green screen he's got in the background, or is he trying to color key gray?
No, he has green screened it. But yeah, the green was a bit raw, so I just dialed it down a little bit.
So you color keyed green to gray.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, a lot of shadow, and yeah, couldn't really do what we needed to. So yeah. Where it is. But yeah, Austin, thanks for jumping in on this one, mate. Like I say, we had a few technical issues. Hopefully, we'll work and filter all of those out, ready for
next time at Monza.
yeah, the final round at Monza, that's for sure. Although I think we are next week doing the Rallycross World Championship with all the guys there as well. So that should be interesting for sure.
It should absolutely be interesting for sure. Well, it was a pleasure as always being on here. I woke up extremely early in the morning getting ready for this because I didn't want to miss it at all because I absolutely love cheering for our boys at Apex Racing. And sometimes it's more fun being in the commentary box than in my PJs laying down watching on my phone.
Well, what can you say to that? Close up that show. I think we will call it a night. Right, thanks guys. It's been a blast. We will catch you the next time we're out at Monza. Till then.